Alright, this is the Natalya set beginners build that I'm going to explain to everybody. So if you're playing the current season, season 12, and you've chosen to go a demon hunter, you must either already have your full Natalya set, or you're working through and you're going to get it by completing up to chapter 4 in the seasonal journey up here where my mouse is right now. If you haven't done or been working on the season journey, please start doing that immediately after you start a new character, because by the end of chapter 4 you'll have your full Natalya set and it's pretty much going to bring you up right to Torment 6 instantly. So you might be playing a season, you might be rolling a Demon Hunter in non-season mode, or you might just be aiming for Natalya's set in general. You want to try something new, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to explain everything from a beginner level. So this is a great video to start off with, because I've been working on season 12 for a while and I'm ready to do guides for the Demon Hunter, pretty much for every set dungeon, like everything you can think of for the Demon Hunter. So I thought I'll start with a beginner's build for Natalya's set, because it is the first set that you will obtain if you do your season journey, which I definitely recommend that you do, because you'll instantly go up to Torment 6. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the gear. So I've replaced all of my overpowered Ancient and Primal Ancient and Bombardier's rucksack all down here, all my overpowered stuff with my gems and everything. And I've just put in your regular items, non-ancients, and even a couple of yellows down here, just, you know, for argument's sake. So we're just keeping this completely fair. We're rolling this character back like she has just pretty much dinged on 70. We've got Natalya's full set, plus some random items. Sure, you might get lucky and get some items along the way. That's great. And we all know that we want to get a socket into our main hand weapon here and definitely slot in that critical hit damage emerald gem. However, I'm just going to leave it as is, just so nobody can argue that I have some sort of unfair advantage. So what we're using here is 6 pieces of Natalya's. I've got the helm, the chest, the pants, the ring here, the gloves, and the one-handed crossbow Natalya Slayer. We're using Deathwatch Mantle in the shoulders, Traveler's Pledge with the Compass Rose. Now you probably won't get these straight away, so just use whatever amulet and ring that you can. Obviously you get a nice little buff from using the Compass Rose and Traveler's Pledge, and if you pretty much run this exact setup that I have right here, you're going to be able to actually go much higher than Torment 6. You'll probably be able to do Torment 8, maybe even 9 or 10, depending on how lucky you are with some of the other items that you get along the way, and also how you position your gems, what level your legendary gems are, and let's not forget Paragon Points. Braces, Wraps of Clarity, like I mentioned, random yellow items here with no legendary stats at all. And the belt here, we want to definitely try and work towards Crashing Rain or the Witching Hour. If you can get either of these two, they're both quite common, so if you've been playing the game for a while, odds are that you've had these items before. Witching Hour is a huge damage buff. I highly recommend Witching Hour. As you can see, like 16% damage just to replace Crashing Rain. However, Crashing Rain summons a Crashing Beast that deals 3,934% damage, and that is definitely ultra handy when we're using Rain of Vengeance. Now also I want to point out there are absolutely no gems equipped at all, no legendary gems at all. I haven't even enchanted anything here. I've just slotted it in for this video, just, you know, so we're running on bare minimum. Sure, we got a bit lucky with items, but, you know, most people do. You'll probably have like a better quiver, you'll have some better boots, you know, etc, etc. But let's go into Paragon Points. I've reset everything. Everything has been rolled down to 0, apart from the movement speed, which I'm going to crank up to 13, just so we have 25% capped movement speed, and I can move around quickly and show you guys an example of the gameplay at the end towards the end of this video. But everything else, you know, 0. I'm not using Paragon Points at all. Also going to check out Kanai's Cube, because you might be thinking, oh, you got legendary powers in there. Now the thing about Kanai's Cube is once you have a legendary power activated in a slot in Kanai's Cube, you can't deactivate that slot. You have to have something there once you put one in. There's no option to have nothing in there, unfortunately. So I'm just going to show you all that what we're using doesn't benefit this build at all. So we're using Manticore, we're not using cluster arrow damage with this build at all. Frostburn, it increases our cold damage. We ain't using no cold damage, we're actually using fire damage for this. And Jewelry, Ring of Royal Grandeur, we're not benefiting from this at all because, like I've already pointed out, we're using 6 items of Natalya's here already. All right, 6 items. So we ain't cheating, guys. We ain't cheating. So before I talk about skills, let's have a look at the bonus stats that you get with the Natalya set. So for 2 set items, you get reduce the cooldown of Rain of Vengeance by 4 seconds when you hit with a hatred generating attack or hatred spending. So we have 2 ways to reduce the cooldown of Rain of Vengeance. Pretty handy. For 4 set items, you have Rain of Vengeance deals 100% increased damage. 100% increased damage, that's not too bad. Bit of a damage increase. In conjunction with the belt, with the Crashing Rain belt, definitely a nice little buff. For 6 set items, you have, after casting Rain of Vengeance, deal 3500% increased damage and take 60% reduced damage for 10 seconds. So we have 10 seconds of 3500% increased damage. That's huge. So as soon as we cast Rain of Vengeance, everything is multiplied by 3500%. We're going to be using sentries, we're going to be using Chakram, and that's going to be doing all of the damage for us. Multiplied by 3500%, plus damage taken is ultra nice at 60%, because early on you will be pretty squishy as a demon hunter, and at higher torment levels you can pretty much be one-shot killed. Now, all important skills: evasive fire with focus, Chakram with twin Chakram, Companion with Wolf Companion. This will basically increase damage dealt when we come into elite packs and stuff like that. Vault with Tumble, Rain of Vengeance with Stampede, Sentry with Spitfire Turret. So as I mentioned, we're using fire damage. Same goes for Chakram here. And Focus is cold damage, but we're using Focus only to regenerate our hatred, and primary damage doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage anyway. It's all going to be with our Chakram, Rain of Vengeance, and Sentry. Passives: Custom Engineering, Color of the Week, Ballistics, and Tactical Advantage. Now this last one is actually optional. Tactical Advantage, if you're surviving well, you're not running out of hatred, you're not having any other issues, you can use Tactical Advantage just to increase your speed, especially if you're doing speed runs. You want to try and get as much gear as possible. You want to farm better items as quick as possible. This will definitely get you moving a lot quicker through Nephilim Rifts and Greater Rifts. However, if you find yourself a bit squishy or you're running out of hatred, you can swap it out for Night Stalker or Leech, which is definitely handy. It increases your life per hit and definitely heals you as you're hitting enemies. If you're super squishy and dying like, one-shot kills, and you don't want to lower that Torment difficulty, you can try Awareness, because that will definitely save your life, but you can only do it once every minute. Try that. If not, then definitely lower your Torment difficulty. You ain't ready for the level that you're on. However, I guarantee you'll at least jump to Torment 6, like I've already mentioned. That covers off everything. You're ready to do this. Natalya set for the Demon Hunter. We're on Torment 6 right now. Let's go in a Nephilim Rift and show y'all how we do this. Alright, so what y'all want to do, throw a few sentries down, cast Rain of Vengeance, and watch things die. Keep in mind, as soon as you cast Rain of Vengeance, your damage, everything that you do is multiplied by 3,500. It's ridiculous. You've always got Wolf Companion as a damage boost if you come across elite packs and you can't kill them quick enough. But also, Evasive Fire and Chakram will reduce the cooldown of Rain of Vengeance, and you'll easily keep it up every 10 seconds to get that buff of 3,500% damage increase. Very overpowered. As you can see, we're just demolishing enemies, and this is Torment 6. And I've shaved everything down to pretty much nothing. Like, I'm not benefiting from anything. I don't even have a socket on my crossbow there. So you can't argue that I have, any advantage whatsoever. This is just the beginning of the guides that I have coming out for the Demon Hunter class. I'm progressing rather well through Season 12. I'm doing Greater Rifts 100. I'm going to show y'all how I do that, the build that I'm using. I'm going to pretty much go through every set dungeon. I've already done Natalya's set dungeon, so check that video out. That's brand new for this season, updated for everybody. I'm also going to give y'all some tips on the conquest achievements, which can be quite challenging when you get to the end of your season journey, particularly the second and the third one. The first conquest achievement is very easy, leveling your gems to 65. It's just, you know, a repetitive process of doing greater rifts and leveling up your gems. The second one, which is quite challenging for particularly beginner players, is complete a greater rift level 45 with not one set item whatsoever. You can have ancients, but you cannot have any set items. This can be quite challenging, but I have an ultra easy method with the Demon Hunter on how to do that, so stick around for that. That subscribe button is coming up. Don't forget, it is optional here at Banning 13. Just promise me one thing: you'll come back and visit if you don't want to subscribe.